Well, the leader of the opposition in Israel, Yair Lapid, has spoken at the Knesset about a potential ceasefire deal.
I cannot go into all the details, but we understood from the Qatari official that this time the deal is possible and that at the current stage, Hamas is not interested in thwarting it. The Qatari official held a warm dialogue with the families of the abductees and told them that he would not rest until their loved ones return home. At a time when Smotrich and Ben Gvir are making statements against the deal, I want to return and remind Netanyahu that he does not need Smotrich and Ben Gvir. In the past, I offered him a political safety net to pass the prisoner exchange deal, and that offer still stands.
Okay, let's get more on this from Hamdah. Salhut. She joins us from Jordan's capital, Amman, because Israel has banned Al Jazeera from operating in the country. Hamdah, it appears that there is real momentum that a deal could be reached, and quite soon. How optimistic is everyone?
Well, there's certainly a lot of reports in Israel about positive progress towards a deal, saying that Israel is bringing what they can to the negotiating table. And Yair Lapid, while speaking today in West Jerusalem to his government faction, said that when he spoke to Qatari officials who briefed him on how the negotiations are going, they had reportedly told him that Hamas was not interested in thwarting the deal, that they were on board. But you have a lot of internal conflict within Israel's own government from the far right, who said that they simply will not be part of it. It was reported that yesterday Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting with Bezalel Smotrich, the country's finance minister, to try to warm him up to the idea of a deal, to walk him through it. But this morning on Monday, Smotrich released a statement saying that he's not going to be part of any deal, that he would vote against it, saying, quote, that it's a threat to Israel's national security. And this is a direct quote, that this is the time to occupy and cleanse Gaza rather than entering into any sort of deal. But again, Benjamin Netanyahu still would have enough votes to pass the ceasefire deal, even though 10 members from his own government signed a letter saying that they wouldn't be part of it. He still has a political safety net with the opposition, and he still has enough votes to pass in his vote when they vote on this deal ultimately, if it comes to fruition. But again, the wild card here is going to be, is Benjamin Netanyahu's government going to collapse as part of this deal, should it happen?
Okay, thank you so much, Hamdah. Hamdah Salhut for us there in Jordan's capital, Amman. I'm going to stay with this, and we're joined now by Yossi Beilin, who is a former Israeli justice minister who initiated the Oslo peace process in the early 1990s. He joins us from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much for being with us. So first of all, how optimistic are you that how optimistic are you that a deal could be reached? Because clearly there are positive signs coming out of both Doha, the US, and Israel as well. Or could we see what has happened so many times before, where we get close and then everything falls over?
Yes, we should be hoping that now it is more realistic. It seems so, because everybody is preparing, and ministries, some of the Israeli ministries got already the request to prepare themselves for the people who come from Gaza. They will not be 100% shape for sure. They will need taking process. And so this is one of the signs, the latest signs, that the system is preparing itself for the absorption of the dozens of people who may come as the hostages. Let's hope that this is the reality and not only wishful thinking.
Politically, Netanyahu has been against a deal for months. What's changed for him, or what is changing for him right now?
Well, I don't presume to know what changed Netanyahu, but maybe the date. We are close to January 20th, and both President Biden and the incoming President Trump are pressuring for ending this chapter. So maybe this is the reason for him to change his mind. I don't know what is happening on the Hamas side, what is motivating right now them, but apparently on both sides there is a feeling that such a deal is needed.
We heard earlier that the coalition partners, Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, are against the deal, and they have been right the way through. But the opposition leader, Lapid, has said that Netanyahu doesn't actually need them, saying that he will be the political safety net to get any deal through. Do you think that Netanyahu will use that safety net, that he will cast aside his coalition partners and go with the opposition?
It doesn't have to go with the opposition. The decision about it, that is not taken in the parliament, in the Knesset, even. Had it been brought to the Knesset, he would have gotten a huge majority because everybody in the opposition would vote for any deal. But it doesn't go to the parliament. It is up to the government. In the government, Netanyahu has a majority. The point is that the extreme rightists may decide to leave the coalition. And then in the near future, he may find himself without a majority. I think that they are so happy in his government with the rightist resolution of Netanyahu's governments that they don't have a real alternative and that they will find the excuse why to remain in his coalition. So he doesn't have to be too much worried.
OK, thank you so much, Yossi. As always, we really do appreciate your insight into this. Yossi Beilin for us there in Tel Aviv.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.